want to do now is just go over a few awards. First thing I want to do is just acknowledge that we had 14 clubs that we chartered this year. And we had several mentors and sponsors. And I just want to go over the list. And that includes Shanti Niven, Jojo Nall, Desiree Luthi, Sandra Crumlish, John Murray, Annette McCullough, Lance Miller, Kathy Oliver, Roberta Perry, Kathleen Lubin, Lawrence Caseta, Elizabeth Ann Carter, Raquel Herring, Naya Samir, Bridget Ferris, Lizette Moya, Lawrence again, Jeffrey MacArthur, Glenn Thornton, Asia Ghazi, Janet Walters, Paul Todd Harrison, Donald Kurtz, Douglas Crowder, Glenn Thornton again, Richard Dixon, Agnes Lewis, Thomas Morehouse, Red Runyon, Roberta Perry, Serena McCullough, Joe Lauricella, John Kesey, Asia Ghazi, two more times, Glenn Thornton again, Ricky Powell, and Joe Lauricella. So all of these people I want to thank very much for all of the time and energy and effort, because starting a club and mentoring a club are two things that are not all that easy to do. Starting a club, if everybody is sparked and ready to go, can be a pretty simple process. On the other hand, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months to put it together. Mentoring a club, you never realize how much you know about Toastmasters until the time you go to your first meeting with a brand new club and they don't know anything. It's a real challenge because you don't want to give them everything at once, but you also want to get them a great Toastmaster experience. So those of you that are mentors, thank you very much for your help. You've been brilliant. And the next thing I want to go over is, let's go over the area governors. We have area governors and division governors who've done brilliant jobs. So why don't you just bring up Division A, and I'll just go over those very quickly. Last year, for some reason, Division A didn't do well at all as a division, which really surprised me because there's a lot of great potential in that division. And I pointed that out to the division governor, Red Runyon, and I pointed that out to the other members of the club, of the division. And they all said to me, we're going to make this work. We are definitely going to make this work. Red said, we'll do it. Now, I will tell you right now, part of being a leader is getting others to do it and then get out of their way. Red got out of their way all the way to China. And in spite of all of that, Division A is President's Distinguished. So congratulations to them. Along with that, John Murray took his area to Select Distinguished. And Agnes Lewis brought her area to Distinguished. And then Anya Morovich, who had the toughest of the areas, did not get Distinguished this year, but she did a great job. John, would you mind taking these to these people? John. Division B has always been one of those divisions that just does great. They just do. But that doesn't mean that it was an easy job for Bob as the division governor. He had challenges. He had a number of interesting challenges. We had some clubs that died on us and some clubs that we were able to revive. And he was quietly there, making the phone calls, getting people together, doing what was necessary to get that division rolling. Because of that, Division B is President's Distinguished. Yeah. Of course, we have a little help from somebody in the division, just a little bit, whose name is Glenn Thornton. And among other things, Glenn was able to make his area President's Distinguished. Baby Otis had a few challenges. He became ill during part of the term. He's well now, but it made it very difficult for him. But he was able to help his area. He did not become distinguished, but his area is still strong and his clubs are doing well. Kathleen Lubin was the area governor for B22, and she's another one of the spark plugs for this division. She did a marvelous job, and her area became President's Distinguished. When Elizabeth Carter became the area governor, immediately 2 of her clubs were about to die, almost within days after. And she helped turn it around. I know Bob had a great deal to do with helping with that. And I believe at one point Glenn even stepped in and helped with part of it too. But that area wound up being select distinguished. So I'm very proud. So Bob, why don't you come up and get your award, and then you can also pass these out to your area governors. I can't seem to type all of these certificates without making one mistake, and I did it on this one. Annette McCullough is not, or wasn't, the division governor of Division B. Bob was. Annette was the division governor for C. In her division, she is select distinguished. So the division became select distinguished, and I'm quite pleased with that. Anna Lee was one of the big surprises to me this year. She was amazing. The work that she did, she is so organized. She and Tammy make a great twins. They do. And she managed to make her area President's Distinguished. Eileen Herman came in about 3 months into the term because the person who was there for some reason or another wasn't able to continue, and Eileen took over. She didn't have a distinguished district, but her clubs are doing well and are strong, and we really appreciate all the help that she gave. Alethea Coleman was the area governor for C33. Now, Alethea had some big challenges that I was not aware of when I first assigned the clubs to her area, and she worked very hard and very diligently. She is the first area governor to get every single one of her club officers trained, which is a major Thank you. Finally, another challenge in an area was area C34. And Serena was able to, with a great deal of difficulty and a great deal of courage, to get the clubs that are in that area going, including the Renaissance speakers, which gave her as many challenges as those clubs that were having difficulty. And she did have some difficult clubs, and she did help turn them around. And I think maybe Annette had 1 or 2 things to do with that. But in any case, she wound up with being a distinguished area governor. So congratulations. Annette, come up, please. Annette, come up, please. And now Division D. Don Cogan was the second division governor for Division D. The first division governor sent me an email one day saying goodbye, and I went, did you just resign, or what? And at one point I went, oh, I guess he's not here anymore. And Don stepped up to the plate. Division D is a challenging division. It doesn't mean that it's a bad division or there are bad clubs in it. It's just that these clubs are part of the downtown district, and many of them have a different culture than the rest of Los Angeles area. So where we have a lot of community clubs in other areas, Division D and Division E, a lot of them are corporate, which means that when 5 o'clock comes, I'm out of here. And that's where the challenge came in. Janice Ogata was the area D40 governor, and she had many challenges for her. It was a new type of position for her. She had a lot to learn as an area governor, and she did do a good job. We had a lot of work to do with her, but she did a good job, and I'm very proud of the success that she made with that. Frank Alvarez was another one that came in later into the term and stepped up to the plate. And his clubs also got good care and good attention during that time. Finally, Jeremy Jeremy. Introduction, I think it is. The interesting thing about Jeremy is that I didn't get a lot of calls or emails or questions. He just quietly took care of his area to the point where he brought it to distinguish. So I'm very proud of Jeremy. Division E, again, a difficult division simply from the fact that the culture of Division D and Division E is very different from the culture of A, B, and C. And because of that, the challenges there are not always as easy to identify and to figure out the correct things to do. Robert Ritchie has been part of Division E for many years, and the clubs there were comfortable enough to work with him and be willing to help him out. So Division E is still here, still strong, still doing well. And there are many clubs in the division that are distinguished, presidents distinguished, and select distinguished. Daisy Power was another area governor for E50 who did a strong job, as was Teresa Katamata. Now Teresa, one of the things about Teresa that she did was she made sure that during a period when Robert had to be away because he was taking some classes, Teresa took over brilliantly and helped out Division A with contests, with other things, called and emailed when there were things going on in the district that everyone needed to know about. She supported that, the area, and did a really good job with it. And finally, and then Shafrella Raffaelli also did a great job with that area. And finally, Sandra Mayoral, in spite of the fact that she was having some family problems, her husband has been quite ill. In spite of all that, she did not want to step down as an area governor. She stuck with the program, and she did a great job, and I'm deeply grateful to her because of all the hard work that she did. So congratulations to all of the area governors and the division governor for